welcome to Dropping Diamonds with me, AJ Andrews, where we dive headfirst into the world of softball. And joining me today is a superstar. She's a 3-time All-American, back-to-back Pac-12 Player of the Year, who is signed to the AUSL Talons. And not to mention, she's also a Team USA softball amazing talent. Welcome, everyone, Maya Brady.
Woo.
Hey, girl. Woo. I know. I feel like we need like
applause.
Yeah, I have to get like a sound effect to put that
yeah.
in there. Well, Maya, when we're talking dropping diamonds, I mean dropping bombs and diamonds, which you do both very, very well.
Thank you.
We're going to start off because, as we have to lead things off, we like to have a good momentum in softball. So start things off dropping a diamond of my own. So one of my favorite quotes, again, is impossible is a dare, not a declaration.
Ooh.
An affirmation I want to pull from that, yes. Affirmation I want to pull from that is there is no goal too high for me to reach today. When you think about softball and you just think about growing up, and because I know your family's very competitive, did you have a quote or a saying that's really stuck with you throughout the times?
I love quotes and like stuff like that. Like my mom is into it, and like I feel like we make quotes a really big part of like just our motivation and stuff. But I had a quote my senior year, and it was on my we had like senior day, we had like these banners with like our favorite quotes, and it's a Maya Angelou quote, and it's just about basically I know it's just basically about like a butterfly, and like at the end you see the butterfly, but like you didn't see all the stages that it went to get to that point. And I feel like for me, like I just feel like growing up, I never thought that I would be where I am today. Like I always dreamed about going to UCLA and being an All-American and playing for USA and all that stuff, and maybe playing professionally. And so it's just funny because it's like through every single stage, it was kind of like my evolution until what I feel like I am now. And I still feel like I'm not even at my full potential yet. I feel like I'm still not that butterfly at the end. But I think just thinking about growing up and playing softball and just thinking about, the impossible and what I thought was impossible at, this stage is different than what I see now. So I just think that quote just like really sticks with, I think, both of our quotes combined.
I love that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you will become a butterfly. And if you're not there, you're still just going through the stages to get where you want to be.
Yeah.
When you feel like throughout your evolvement and you're blossoming into this butterfly as you're continuing to grow, what do you feel like was one of the stages that was maybe the hardest that you had to overcome?
I feel like I've had 2 really hard stages. I think one was like ages probably, I would say maybe like 10U, 12U, like that stage, which it sounds ridiculous now thinking about it, that like at that time I was thinking that it was a hard stage of life because that's such like you're in like elementary school.
We're becoming teenagers.
Yeah, but
that's
at
tough.
that time, like that was when you could get recruited at any age. So for me at that time, I was living in Bakersfield with my mom and my sister. We had just moved from the Bay and we were living there. We were commuting down to Orange County for me to play softball with the Batbusters. And at that time, I feel like at that age, you were either like getting recruited or you weren't.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, which is
12.
crazy. Which is like so crazy. Like, but I feel like for me, that was just a rough stage because I feel like that was the stage where I had to decide. And I actually quit softball for 6 months at that stage. Yeah, because I was just like so over it and the commitment, just commuting that far and it just being so intense and the recruiting process and all that stuff. So I feel like for me, that was the time where I had to decide, like, I quit and I started playing travel soccer, like club soccer actually. And so for me, I think that was just a hard time and with me and my mom because we were just like, she was like, I don't want to waste my time, but like, this has been your dream. Like, so that was, I think, a rough time and just your like self-confidence of like, well, why am I not getting recruited? Not in like a jealousy way, but just like kind of like am I good enough to play in college? Like just that. And then another hard time I would say it was 2022 was my redshirt sophomore year because I had the COVID year. And like that year was like my sophomore slump. I was not doing well. And then I ended up kind of like heating up towards the end of the World Series. But like, it's just kind of like at that time I had to really reflect in and be like, am I doing the work? And like, I want to be great, but am I putting in the time to be great? Like every day when I go to practice, am I doing the extra reps? Am I putting my best foot forward every time I step on the field? And so when I got back to school in the fall of 22, I like decided, I was like, every single day I am literally before I hit, I'm doing 10 minutes, 20 minutes of T work. Like I am doing one arms, like in, out, like up, down. Like I really like wanted to put that time in. And then I ended up having the best year of my college career, I think. But so I think for me that time, those 2 times are like 2 times where I had to like look inside and be like, girl, your funny is up. You need to get your money up. At the end of the day, like
the funny is up. Get your money up.
Ridiculously.
Ding, 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 ding. One diamond.
Yep. But yeah, those were two rough times, definitely.
Man, even when going through, especially at a young age, when you feel so many people around you are being seen and you're not, the pressure that gets attached to you and the confidence that can dwindle. I tell people all the time, I feel like confidence is like a muscle. Yeah. And if you don't work it, just like if you don't work out your muscles, you'll begin to lose it. You have to work out that confidence. When you took that time off and came back, how did you work towards feeling more confident, even knowing that you weren't recruited yet, but it's coming?
Yeah. I think it was just that like kind of like letting go of what like that pressure I was feeling and just from recruiting or my coaches or my family, like just letting go of that pressure and just understanding why I was playing the game and why I wanted to potentially pursue this in college. And so I think just bringing the fun back into softball. I think especially at that time, you're so young, like, I mean, to this day, softball to me is still about my teammates and my friends and those relationships. And that's when I know I'm in a good place, is when I'm joking and laughing and being silly in the dugout. Like, that's when I know I'm at my best. And I think that's something that when I came back from that break, I really kind of dove into the fun part of it and my teammates and just those relationships, like staying down in Orange County and going to like Knott's Berry Farm or like just hanging out with my friends down there. And so I think just bringing like that aspect of fun back into the game. And I think then from that point on, I was pretty good and I was locked in, and I ended up committing like I think at 14, so like 2 years later. So I think it just made like the world of a difference, just having that fun part of it.
What made you want to go to UCLA? To commit at 14.
Yeah. I was obsessed. Like I was a freak. Like I will look back at photos of me like at that, like when in my childhood. For Halloween? I was not a Bruin for Halloween, but we had a dog named Bruin.
Okay. There it is.
I look back at photos and like I'm in UCLA pajamas, like sweatshirt. Like I'll never forget my first UCLA game I ever went to. We were living in Bakersfield, and I came home from school and my mom had decorated my room and like blue and yellow and had like streamers and like flags and like everything like that. And then we ended up going to the game with my like travel coach, Mike Stith, because he had a lot of players at UCLA. So, and I got to like go in the clubhouse and take a picture with the team and stuff like that. So I was like obsessed, but I fell in love when I was 10 years old or 8 years old watching the World Series. And my mom had just called me and was like, turn on like the TV, like this channel, like it's the championship. So I turned it on. Of course, UCLA was in it at that time, is when they were like so hot. And so they ended up winning, and then I was obsessed. I feel like it's when you're like your kid and you like just see like a good team and you're like, oh, that's my team.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with anything. And then I just heard the stories growing up because my mom played against Coach I and Coach Lisa when she was in college. So I just always heard the stories of the GOAT and like just of actually I think they played in travel ball too against each other. Yeah. So I've heard stories for a long time, and then just that moment of watching on TV, and then I live 30 minutes from UCLA, so it was just, I don't even know, a storm of everything, just obsession, just pure obsession. But yeah, I loved it.
Your mom played softball at Fresno State, and she was also an All-American pitcher.
Yeah.
She couldn't get you on the mound? That wasn't happening?
The thing about it is I wanted to be on the mound so bad. Like, when I was younger in like rec ball, when I made the All-Star team, I always wanted to be a pitcher. And they were like, you're not pitching, you're playing shortstop. And I was like, I don't want to play shortstop. I want to pitch. So I tried. I was denied. I really put my best foot forward. I think I was like throwing the ball over girls' heads and on the ground. Like, I wasn't good, but the passion was there. The talent was not.
Okay.
They were like, scoot back a little bit. Right there. You're good. You're good. Yeah.
I wanted to be a pitcher so bad too.
Bad.
My high school coach every year would let me pitch 1 inning.
Stop.
Yes, 1 inning, like against a team that, we were going to beat by a lot. She would let me pitch 1 inning every year. In my senior year, she let me pitch 2.
Stop.
Yeah. So
that would be my dream.
It really was. I walked quite a few people, but I walked them throwing very fast.
Period.
So,
Period.
It didn't go over the plate.
It's okay.
But the gun,
yeah.
I think I was like
the
65.
Yeah,
the numbers were there.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all that matters.
What do you think about your time at UCLA? You talk about that turning point when you really began to work hard and you saw the difference. I read something the other day and it said, if somebody were watching your life for 24 hours, would they believe that would they believe in what it was that you wanted to do? Like, would the work show that your goals were you're doing what it is you needed to do? I don't know. That just like changed something in my brain chemistry a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't know if they would agree at a certain point. And growing up, my dad used to always tell me, like, you may want to be successful. There's always going to be somebody better.
Yeah.
So nobody better work harder. Was there a certain moment for you that really kind of changed your perspective that said, I'm going to stay here, I'm going to go high, low, in, out, one arm out? What was that shift that made you start working more?
I think so. It's so funny because I normally try not to pay attention to like social media and stuff like that. But there was a moment before that season. It was in the fall, or I want to say maybe it was like, since we're quarter, we start in September. So I think it was maybe like August, like right when other schools had gone back. And I was voted like the 30-something like best player in the country. And it's so funny because it's like from the outside, people would probably be like, that aren't in the sport maybe, or like a high level athlete. They're like, that's like, you know how many softball players there are? Like 30? Like that's good. Me, I was like, oh.
30?
30? 30? Oh, okay. Period. So for me, it was that moment that I was like,
Drake. Sorry, I had to say it. That's what came out in my mind.
That's so fun. 30. For me, it was that moment where I was like, oh, wow. And I'm not really a person that's like fueled off of like disrespect. Like that's not something that I've ever, like that's not the realm I tap into. Like I said, like I'm very like silly, goofy. That's how I know I'm playing good. So for me, this was something a little different where I was like, dang, like 30, like that's pretty crazy. So I think for me, when I saw that, I was like, oh no, I'm not 30.
Yeah.
I am not 30. I know I'm not 30. So for you to say I'm 30 is crazy, but it's okay. So from that point on, it was just literally about proving that I was not 30. Like that I took that as a sign of disrespect. And from that point on, before every game day, I wrote the same exact thing in my journal before every single game. Because like we do a journaling thing at UCLA. I'm sure other programs do that too. But like it's in our routine. Before a game, we meet and we journal. And before every single game, I wrote Player of the Year in my journal. And I wrote Player of the Year and FTR, which is like a bat buster thing. And so I think for me, it was just, it's not appropriate for this podcast.
No, it's fine.
Is it?
Yeah, go.
I can cuss?
Yes.
Okay. It just is like, it's just fuck the rest.
Heck yeah.
And so for me, just writing those in my journal every day, it just allowed me to like tap into that headspace and remembrance of disrespect that, you know, they had me at 30 at the beginning of the year. And then I was able to that year be in the top 3 for player of the year and then win player of the year of the Pac-12.
Yes.
So for me, it was just, using that moment as a fuel for the work and for, kind of the way that season went along. And so it was like my favorite season ever. It was so fun. It was so fun.
FTR, baby.
Yeah. No, literally.
Do you believe in manifestation?
Yes.
Because I feel that it's so powerful, the things that you write down, how they come to fruition.
Yeah.
When you think about, you wrote down player of the year, what other things are you writing down in your journal, whether it be in pro ball, going to play in Japan, or just future?
Yeah. I actually did the same exact thing the next year. I just had to prove my theory twice. Like, that manifestation.
Really
yeah. But it's just interesting because, like, with our, like, we worked this past year a lot with, like, a sports psychologist, like, therapist. And we talked about just getting into this mental headspace of, like, having extreme, like, detail with your manifestations or just your visualizing, plus the work brings in such great results. So I think for me, using that formula, I think is going to allow me to just, like, continue what I started. And I'm definitely going to be journaling, maybe like in my notes app, or maybe I'll get a physical journal. I don't know yet. This is my first time playing pro, so we'll see. But I think just carrying that with me, and just honestly, like, I did a lot of work, and like the quote that, like, I've now kind of developed is like, with you, and I want to get it, like, tattooed on me because I, like, love it. Yeah, like, with you, and just like that to me is like a new phrase that I'm like, I like that. It, like, brings in just like different aspects of, like, my family and God and just with me continuously. So maybe it'll be like, I don't know. I don't think we have player of the years in AUSL. I'm not sure. But, like, maybe like FTR, with you, something else. And then that'll continue my little journaling legacy.
I love that. FTR, with you. Was with you something that's always been meaningful, or did it kind of develop at a certain stage?
It just developed this year through, like, one of the exercises that we did with, like, our guy, Dr. Mondo.
Our guy.
He's literally the best. Like, I swear he changed my life. Like, I literally tell people all the time, I'm like, if you can, like, have that luxury of working with someone like that, I feel like it just changes your game so much. Because, like, you don't realize the stuff that you've dealt with off the field affects you on the field. Like, I feel like we try to separate the two, but how could you? Like, I don't know. And so I think just doing that this past year and just kind of developing that phrase and then playing from that space that remembering that phrase kind of put me in, that's why I want to get it tattooed on me. Because I'm like, I would love to, like, be struggling one game and then, well, I wouldn't love to struggle. Right. But I would love to not be having my best day and then look at it and be like,
and it just snaps
click.
You back in.
And then I'm back to reality.
What do you feel like is a moment at UCLA when, even though you didn't have the tattoo, you kind of took a step back and you felt the with you, and it was maybe one of the most impactful moments or biggest moments or turnaround moments in your career?
Yeah. I think going into last year, I think right before regionals, because the year prior we got upset at our own regional. And so I think going into regionals, like, it was like PTSD. I think regionals is already hard.
Yeah.
I think it's harder than super regionals. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I think that like going into that, just in the feelings that came up with, like, and the anxiety that came up with having to play, and, like, coincidentally, I think 2 of the teams from the year before were in our regional again. And we had to play one of them, like, opening game. So just, like, the anxiety and the pressure and kind of that, like, trauma from, like, because it was really traumatic. Like, after we lost that game the year prior, we stayed, like, for 3 hours after. Like, the whole team. The coaches, like, everybody. We just stayed for 3 hours and we just, like, reminisced, cried. Like, we were just like, what? I mean, anyone that gets upset, you're like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
Like, whoa. And we went 2 in barbecue. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we'd never had it. Like, we just were flat. And so dealing with like that anxiety going into the next year, that was the moment that I had to like look inside and be like, no matter how I perform on the field or like at bat to at bat, like I know that like the people that truly love me for me are going to be with me. And in that exercise, it's like, I imagine when I'm at shortstop, I turn around and like I'm visualizing like everybody that I think that truly loves me is like surrounding me and cheering me on no matter what I do. Whether I make a great play or I let it go between my legs. Like the people that are in my corner are going to love me regardless and they're with me regardless. So, or like when I go up to the plate, like imagining my family, like everybody I love just cheering me on and then like what that does for your like mental health. And so I think that was the biggest moment that I had to be like, fuck it, I'm laying it all out on the line. Like this is like what it is. Like we're going to go through this weekend and we're going to thrive and we're going to go back to like to supers and then hopefully the World Series, or we're going to flunk, but I'm going to like go all out because I know my people are going to love me regardless.
You're always going to have people with you no matter what.
With me, always.
And then with you, ultimately went to how many World Series?
3.
Yeah.
3.
That's hard to do, guys.
3. I know.
They make it sound
it's
easy.
Hard.
That's very hard to get to 1.
I know. It's very, very hard. I'm very jaded because I'm like, should have been 4. What the hell? But 3, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
So hard. I went twice and definitely felt like what's crazy is the year I really felt like we should have gone, which was my sophomore year. We lost in regionals? Supers? Regionals. We lost in regionals. Our team was stacked. There was no reason we should have lost that year. And that's the testament to how hard it is. Like we were so good my sophomore year and it didn't happen.
No, that's what we had. That 2023 year, we were like, I was like, we had Megan, we had like Brooke Yanez, we had Aaliyah Jordan for her 7th year. We had like our freshmen were fire. Like we had this like super team. Like I think on our roster we had like 28 girls on our roster. Like I was like, oh, I'm seeing us at the World Series. Like it's gonna be fire.
It's a given.
Yep, it's a given. And then that rug got pulled under us quick. And like then last year I was like, we had the worst start in UCLA history. And we ended up going back.
World Series,
Like, what? But no, it's freaking hard. I think people don't realize like truly how hard it is to get back.
Really? And what it takes and the fortitude and coming back and the mentality. When you think of the mentality that you have, that you and all your teammates with UCLA, who do you feel like that derived from? Because I know your family is so competitive. Your mom plays. Obviously, your Uncle Tom. Would you call him Uncle Tommy, right?
Uncle Tommy, yeah.
And then, and then also your Uncle Kevin also played MLB. There's so many people in which you just have the competitive spirit. Where do you feel like you get your drive the most from?
I think that it's definitely my mom. Like, I think that it definitely comes from my mom. Because I think just from a young age, she just instilled in us, like, and our family. Like, I tell people all the time, we'll go on family vacations and it's not relaxing. Every day we're playing some super competitive, of course, boys versus girls, like, game. And it gets raunchy. Like, it gets competitive. Like, it's not relaxing. It's not fun. Like, kids are crying. We're playing kickball and, like, my uncles are like fully kicking the ball at like my 10-year-old cousin. It's like, you're a grown man. But so like, I think for me, like that competitiveness was definitely fostered with my family. But I would say like at UCLA, I don't know. I feel like we're kind of like giggly. Like we're not super like, I don't know. I think we have a good balance of like crazy and like fun, but also like competitive. Like when you see Megan stomp and like her braid is whipping and like we're all just like screaming our heads off, like that's super fun too. And I think is like brings out a different competitive in me. Like the Brady family vacations is like nasty competitive. Like me versus you, like let's go right now. Like, but that is like, oh, like I'm out here with my Bruins, like period. But yeah, it's fun. I don't know. I'm a freak. I'm competitive.
Well, I feel like you have to be. It was like you're bred for that. Like
No, it's bad.
Your uncle one plays in Major League Baseball. Your mom's an All-American from Fresno, and then your other uncle is arguably the best quarterback of all time. So it's like it just seemed inevitable that you would probably become extremely competitive and one of the greats in whatever sport it was that you chose.
Yeah, and it's funny too because like people will ask me who's the most competitive in our family, probably assuming that I would say Tommy, but I think it's a tie actually between Tommy and my mom for like 1A and 1B is actually my grandma.
Really?
Yes.
So
she
like
is so
my
mom's mom.
Uncle Tommy's
mom.
Yeah.
No. She's so competitive. It's insane. But she like played tennis and like golf. She still golfs and stuff like that. For like even until I was like a little kid. I remember her playing tennis and like going to her matches and stuff like that. So she's actually super competitive, and I think that's where they all get it from.
Yeah.
Is my grandma, not my papa. Like,
wait, what's her name?
Galen.
Grandma Galen.
No, she's a killer. I swear. But yeah, I think, everyone in my family is super competitive. Even from like the little kids. It's weird. Everyone comes
like
out
gene.
like, yes.
It's a
everyone
Brady gene.
comes out like wanting to be like a
the best.
Competitive animal. So I don't know. But yeah, I think my mom is like the one that put it in me for sure.
I watched a video and in your home it says you have a sign that says Brady Bunch, and it's like to a little bit of love, a little bit of laughter, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a lot of love.
Yep.
What would you say is the Brady way? Like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but a whole lot of what?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say a little bit of tears.
Okay.
Everyone's super emotional. A little bit of crazy.
Okay.
/ like competitive, and a lot of love.
Okay.
Because I think like from my understanding, a lot of people don't have like group chats with their whole family in it, like grandma, cousins, aunts, uncles. Like whenever people see like Brady family on my like phone, they think it's like, oh, me, my mom, my sister. Like, no, that's like everyone in my family. We're always like sending videos or like inspirational quotes or like just stuff like that. Like basically every day we text in it, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, wow. You guys have inspirational quotes?
Yeah. Like
that's
I know. Sometimes it gives me
because I've definitely muted a lot of my family group chats.
Sometimes it gives me cringe vibes.
Keep going. Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, every time my sister and I will like look at each other and laugh sometimes when like my mom is like trying to give us a motivational speech. Because we're like, who do you think you are? Like you literally are acting like, you know that like teammate that like comes in and they're like, come on guys, like we got to fight till the end. Yeah. And you're like, okay, brother. Like, no, not the vibe. But like, that's my mom. And we just like laugh because we're like,
do you believe it then when Uncle Tommy sends you something though?
Yeah. But like, honestly though, like a lot of the quotes are more so like, love your neighbor. And like,
oh, really?
Yeah. Like they're very like that vibe. Like some sports stuff, but like not really. It's pretty much like the kids like videos playing soccer and stuff like that. And then like a quote from like Gandhi. You know what I mean? It's like it goes back and forth. So I think like everyone kind of like brings their own thing to like the Brady family group chat.
Wait, that's so funny.
It's mostly good vibes though.
I feel like I would imagine it being something super motivational. Like if you were to obviously from the outside, if you're thinking Tom Brady's sending his niece something inspirational, you're like, okay, like the best do this, blah blah blah, and you're like, no, peace be with you.
Yeah, no,
what
like,
he's sending you.
Yeah, Catholic mass, like Father, Son, Holy Spirit type vibe. Like it's all good vibes because I think people don't realize that like even though we're all very like crazy and competitive, like Tommy is obviously the most like recognizable person in our family, and he seems like a psychopath, like crazy competitive, like he's always like wanting to be the best, but like he is one of the sweetest people you will ever meet. So it's like funny because he has like I think we all kind of have two sides to us where it's like on the field, like I get told all the time, like, you seem so mean, like you're so serious, you never smile. But I'm like one of the most sensitive people like on the planet. Like I'm very shy, like whatever. So it's funny, like I think, yeah, you would think it'd be like, I don't even know.
Intense.
And then it's really like always like love yourself and like put yourself first. Like it's a good like little, what is it? Jekyll and Hyde, like two sides. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I read that in high school, I think. But yeah, like two sides to the personality, which I think is a good balance.
When we think of two sides personality, but also two sides of the field, you are a utility, whether it's infield, outfield.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go into my favorite segment of no fly zone segment, because you can really turn the infield and the outfield into a no fly zone. When you think about your favorite play that you've ever made to turn either infield or outfield into a no-fly zone, what is it?
Oh, that's a good one. My favorite play I've ever made, definitely be infield. Okay. No shade. But
it's okay.
I think for me, like at UCLA, we had such a good pitching staff that like there were games where I wouldn't even get a ball. I'm like, guys, share the love.
Right.
Like, I know you want the strikeout, but like, just give me a little pop-up. It won't hurt.
Something.
I'll catch it. I promise. Like, but I think probably, can I do two?
Yeah.
Okay. There was one against Georgia this past year in our super regional. And like, I don't even know who was up. I can't even see it. But for some reason, I was playing like really close to second base. And this girl hit like kind of a chopper over the pitcher. And I pick it on the short hop, tag second, and turn the double play. And I think just like the hype of that, like, I don't know. We were just in like
bang bang.
Yeah, like it was just so, I don't know. You know, like when it's just like too crisp and you're like, whoa.
That was so good. Yeah, I'm good.
That was crazy. Okay, that one. And then another one. I think we were at Washington. It was also this past year. And it was on Sunday, and a girl hit a ball up the middle. And I was like, I got it like behind second base almost, up the middle. And I did a little spin, and I threw her out of first base. And it was like, it was like one of those things where it's kind of like out of body. Like I'm sure you've had that where you like make a crazy play and you're like, did I just do that?
Yeah.
That was crazy. Like I'm just me and I just did that. Like that's weird. Like sometimes, I don't know. I had that moment and it was just really fun. Yeah. It was good vibes.
Feeling those out of body moments, but you reach those successes, and through those successes, we all know we have to have failure. What would you say has been your favorite failure that has led to the in-body experiences of reaching the success?
I would say probably that 2022 season as a big fat failure for me, just because it wasn't like at all what I wanted it to be. And I think that's what led me to ultimately turn around and like we were talking about earlier, just like put that work in, and then get kind of not the result I wanted, but like just kind of prove to myself that like, okay, like I am who I think I am.
Yeah.
And like it was my opportunity to kind of show like the softball world, I guess, that like this is me. Like I think that 2022, like 2020, 2021, 2022, I was kind of like the little sister on the team. That's how I kind of felt, just because we had such dominant leaders like Aaliyah Jordan, Bree Perez, Kinsley Washington, Rachel. Like we had all these like bangers, and I could just be kind of like the little sister. Like I could come in and like get a little hit and be like, woo! But like they were the ones that were like, oh, like I'm scared of them. And then I could come up and like just like kind of play a little bit more free. And so like 2022, I was that little sister still, but I was sucking. And so to me, it was like, it was bad. It was really, really bad. Like I would literally watch 3 pitches go by and be like, I don't even know what I'm doing. And so that to me was like one big fat failure. And then it ultimately led me to like my best year. So I would say definitely that, because now then I like know what it's like to taste that success after putting that amount of work in. And so now I've made that a daily habit of now how I go about practice. And like I said, I'm not at my full potential yet. I know that. And so I'm just excited to see where that will continue to take me.
As we keep going to your pro career with the talent. So excited to see what that looks like with Athletes Unlimited Softball League. Maya, thank you so much for joining me on Dropping Diamonds.
Thank you for having me.
I feel like from the affirmation, the diamonds that were dropped today absolutely is that you will turn into a butterfly. You have to enjoy the journey. Through that journey, the hard work comes. From that hard work comes a success. And then you can fly high like a butterfly, 3-time All-American, USA, and now professional softball player like Maya Brady.
Purr.
Make sure, big purr. Oh, also, stop being funny and get to the money.
No.
That's another major diamond.
Get your money up.
Yeah, get the money up. Funny up. The funny's up. Get your money up. That's how it goes, right?
Yes.
Well, thank you all for listening, and I will catch you next week back on the diamond. Till then, keep shining.